I'm a humanitarian, and every time I tell this to people, it's always greeted with a bit of, ooh, exciting, exotic, ooh, you're a humanitarian. Tell me about that. And there's always an image that's associated with as well. And over time, I'm starting to understand that it's associated with about 3 images. So the first is this James Bond-esque type of person. He has the suit, the sunglasses, going to London, Tokyo, and in front of big audiences saying, we need to save the world, with that voice included. And that has nothing to do with what my everyday looks like. And then there's the more dramatic scene, which is somehow I'm in a war-torn village. I have a baby on a shoulder here. I have a vaccine in another hand. I have to get to the hospital because the hospital needs to save the baby with this vaccine. And once they know about this vaccine, they're going to save the world with this, and I'm going to save humanity, and I'm going to get a Nobel Peace Prize. And while that's the case for some humanitarians, you have not seen me run. So that's definitely not how my everyday looks like. Then there's the more common scene that people give. They think of me being in sub-Saharan Africa. Sun's beaming on my face. I'm in a jeep. I'm giving rice packets to the villagers. They're smiling. I'm waving. And I'm saying, yes, I'm saving Africa and I'm saving the world. That sentence, that scene, wrong. Nothing to do with humanitarianism. Absolutely not. But what I can definitely say about being humanitarian is that it has been an amazing ride and a journey. I mean, I have done things I would have never visioned that I would have done before, not even once. I mean, I've gone to places that 10 years ago I would have laughed at if you told me I did it. I've had the wonderful opportunity of sitting with government officials, Minister of Health, key stakeholders in countries, people with opinions that can make and break any project I try to propose. And we sit down in front of the table and we'll talk about things we have in common. With me, it's always about food. And then we'll talk about the important stuff that matters, things that really count. And for me, it happens to be about women's health and women's rights. I've had the honor and the opportunity of shaking hands and meeting with Graça Machel Mandela, Nelson Mandela's wife, being with her in the same room with key stakeholders, countless of them, as I represented my organization in developing the draft strategic framework for the Sustainable Development Goals for the post-2015 agenda. That was last year. I've been to countries that I would have never thought I would be texting my mother right before I was about to board the plane, or telling friends right in front of coffee. I've managed programs in Sudan, Ethiopia, Ghana, deal with stakeholders in Somaliland, doctors in Myanmar. I was even a UN Women rep for Women's Economic Empowerment and launched a campaign with them, which had a bunch of supporting. And of course, when I tell that to people, they just look at me up and down and go, wait, how old are you? Hold on a second, because no. I have colleagues that tell me, how did you do this? I mean, it took them 20, 30 years just to sit down in front of a prime minister, yet I can just glide through like it's nothing. How? And it's true, I don't have the background that groomed me to do humanitarianism or diplomacy, any of that sort. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm from the Bronx, New York. And if you know about the Bronx, it's rough and tough. It's not where humanitarians and diplomats and whatnot come from. I'm an Italian Dominican boy from the Bronx, yet somehow this boy manages to walk into these rooms where the UN is present. How? And you know what? Yes, I'm young. And like a lot of young people, I have role models, people who inspire me, people whose essence make me smile and say, wow, I am inspired by you. There's something about you that's just a fire. So I want to introduce you to my role models, people who've inspired me and have actually helped me progress to the path I've been to. And the first one is Sergio Vieira de Mello. Now, Sergio, if you look up diplomat in the dictionary, I mean, his face will come up. The best way I can describe him to you is if I put you in a confined room and sprayed amazing perfume, and as that perfume comes down, you can't help but say, oh my God, what is this scent? It's amazing. That is Sergio. I mean, look at him. He's a diplomat. He's throwing balls. I mean, Sergio was a life force. He was friends with political despots and peacemakers because he believed that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what's going on. And it doesn't matter if I think I know everything. I need to sit down, listen, and understand. Because it's by understanding you, I can be able to find a solution. He believed that we all had something called chasing the flame. It's up to us to chase this flame, which will help us help this world. Unfortunately for Sergio, his flame was put out in 2002 when he was killed in Iraq. But his life, his smile, his essence always inspires me. There's something about him that always makes me think, what would Sergio do? And so he has most definitely helped me. Now the next person, I guarantee you everyone will know this person. This person was a legend. This person's name has continued beyond their death. And you will all have your own image of this person, but this probably was the biggest influence in my life than Sergio. That person's Coco Chanel. And see, there's some faces in the audience, they're looking back at me and it's like, you know, it's a bit like you're talking la 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 la, and then it's like a car crash. Wait a minute, hold up, Coco Chanel? And for some of you, this may be the first time you realize that she was actually a real person. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Coco Chanel was real. And when I tell that to people, they'll look at it and say, Coco Chanel, well, it's fashion. Humanitarianism, they'll look at me up and down and say, oh, okay, well, you got that stylish thing going on. Okay, maybe that's what it is. And I said, no, I'm Italian. It's called sprezzatura. No. And they're like, well, that she means makeup. And then there's the more common one. Yeah, but she's a woman. Coco Chanel's a woman. And that's where we have a problem. You see, they cannot look beyond her story. They can't look beyond what she's done, and they just block it off of woman. And they can't see how that connects to me. Well, how does this make sense? She's a woman. And it's not just her story, but it's countless women that people won't look at in history because she's a woman. They won't look at her story. And there's countless men that admire these women, but they're too afraid to say it because they're afraid of the laughs and the looks, like I see today. That's why it is time that men confess to having female role models, because we will never, ever have gender equality or sustainable peace in this world if we do not look at women as being equal in men in value and what they can offer and honoring it. I mean, let's be quite honest, ladies and gentlemen, there's no better way of gender equality than for a man to say, she's my role model. I mean, that is what's up. She is it. There's no way of saying it. And that's the best way to have gender equality in that sense. I mean, I live in the UK, and recently in England there was this fantastic advert that was going on. And it was this little girl, beautiful curly hair, going on top of the sofa. She's got her iPad out, they're playing Alicia Keys' Girl on Fire, and she's playing that YouTube video. She sees these amazing women, Eleanor Roosevelt, female politicians, athletes, the whole shebang. And she's looking back and she says, wow, these ladies, they're women like me. I can be just like them. And you know what? That's beautiful. God bless. We need this. But take 3 seconds to think if it was instead, it was a little boy to climb onto that sofa, play that YouTube clip, having Alicia Keys in the background, because Lord knows I love Alicia Keys. And him looking back at those women and saying, wow, these women are amazing. I want to be like these women one day. See, that's what we need. And you know, we do have men that say, well, I have a female role model. My mother's my role model. My grandma's my role model. My cousin twice removed is my role model. That's fine. I mean, I would be nothing without my grandmother, my mother, and my great-grandmother. They are my essence, just as my father is. But I feel society kind of expects you to have a female role model from your family. No, no, no. I want to hear a man declare that a woman unrelated to him inspires him, gives him the flame. I want to hear a man that says, Christine Lagarde is my role model. Oprah Winfrey, that is somebody I admire. Egyptian music legend Kulthum is my music inspiration. I want to hear this. And why? Because why not? There's no reason not to. I mean, Coco Chanel inspires me because she taught me to really believe in your true potential. I mean, let's get it simple. Coco Chanel's life wasn't diamonds, roses, and champagne, although she has now provided the illusion for that. No, she was born in the center of France. Her mother died when she was very young. Her father told her to her face, I don't love you and I don't want you. And I never did. Dropped her off at an orphanage, raised there until she was 18, and the nun said, okay, that's enough. Go fend for the world. Everybody told her, lovers, friends, give it up. You're a woman. Give it up. There's nothing. Give it up. But she said, no. There's more to me in life. There's more. And she's like, I want to do fashion. And this is the early 20th century, so if you remember Titanic, big hats, the frills, the whole shebang. She said, that's 2 pounds on my head. That's not going to work. So they cut that into a small hat instead. And she wore these little hats. She began with that and would go where clients would potentially be. So she would go to chariot races. She'd go to galas. And people would say, hey, where'd you get that hat? And she said, oh, chez Coco Chanel in Paris. When she said that, she had no Chez Coco Chanel in Paris. She was living off a flat that she couldn't even afford. But that's not the point. She had a phrase, fake it until you make it. Because even if it hasn't happened yet, the key word is yet. It hasn't happened yet, because as long as you see it in your mind, that's all that counts. Because you're going to be there. You know your truth. You know your essence. That's what matters. And Coco Chanel inspires me in that. That somehow a little boy from the Bronx can look himself in the mirror and build up courage. Say, right, I have to meet this prime minister. I have to meet this key person in the UN. But I know where I want to go in the world, so let me be confident and shine so I can help others. That's how Coco Chanel has helped me. And you know what? It's liberating, to be quite honest, when you say that a woman is your role model. As a man, wow, my goodness, I can go on. It's just liberating. It's as if nothing's holding me back. And we need to have this more for men. Because I think men have a lot more layers on top of them that society's putting. There's a fantastic documentary called The Mask I Live In, which talks about masculine perceptions in the United States, my native country. And it's true, in America, if you're associated with anything feminine, it's considered weak. This means skincare, playing the flute, the violin, speaking other languages, appreciating the arts, being flamboyant as I am, as you can obviously tell. That's weak. But you know, we need to just remove that. When a man says, she is my role model, you are simply moving all that society's putting on him, all that mud, and allowing us to see the beauty of that person's essence, that man's essence, instead of this be a man figure. No, I want to see you. That allows them to liberate themselves. And let me tell you, it was not easy telling people that Coco Chanel's my role model. I was afraid that people were going to disrespect me, think I was weird, everything. But as long as I didn't care anymore, I said, well, really, what am I going to lose? I have 100 years of life. I started to see men approach me and say, you know what? Actually, I think Angelina Jolie's pretty cool. Actually, I really do like that woman too. So we need to liberate them. And you know what as well? A man that says a woman is my role model is demonstrating confidence in himself. Confidence that it's not going to let race, gender, religion, shoes, anything block me from seeing the value of that person. No. I see that person for who they are. Not because it's a woman. I see their essence. I see them. That is confidence. That's masculinity. And that's what we should be promoting. I walk into a Coco Chanel store from time to time, and it confuses the craziness out of the people who work there, because they don't sell men's clothes. They say, can I help you? And I said, I'm just looking. And they're confused. But I go in there because entering a Coco Chanel boutique is a testament of what dreams can become. That a little girl who was told by her father, I don't love you, told by everyone, you're worthless, told them you'll never make it, told them all, no, I did it. That her name is synonymous with her country, her countrymen who rejected her at a point. That even to this day, she died in 1971, we are talking about her. She reminds me that as long as you believe in yourself in your mind, you will achieve it. And that this little boy from the Bronx can become a humanitarian one day. That's a lot bigger. I mean, I've done so much so far, but I believe I can do more because I want to help. I want to keep helping others because I have that flame. And it can be daunting sometimes. It can be terrifying. But as long as I believe in myself to achieve it, anything is possible. And if ever I doubt, I think of Chanel. So I challenge men. Confess to having a female role model. Confess. You have nothing to hide. And who cares if they judge and laugh at you? Laugh at their shoes. Who cares? I'm Italian, so there's always a shoe theme going on. Who cares? And women, encourage men. Encourage your sons, your husbands, your friends to have a female role model if they don't have one yet, or to admit to it. There's no reason not to. There are great women in this world, sources of strength. Let's be proud of it. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Gesu Antonio Báez. I'm from the Bronx. Sergio Vieira do Mello is my role model, and he will live in our hearts forever for the work he's done. And my role model is also Coco Chanel, fashion legend, icon, but a powerful woman, and she inspires me. Who's yours? Thank you.